commitment. It means taking a stand. Taking a stand for you. It means delivering. It means coming through. What if you don't keep your commitment, Les? What if you give it everything you have and you come up short? Or if you don't give it everything you have? What if you get weak along the way and you throw in the towel on yourself? You surrender to your emotions. What then? A lot of people become discouraged. They become frustrated and they say, oh, what the heck? And they go back to doing what they were doing before, saying it doesn't work. You get to make a choice. Is failure going to break you or is failure going to make you? You get to decide. Failure doesn't. It's okay to fall. It's okay to cry. It's okay to go home. But quitting should never be an option. It's not in falling that makes us failures. It's in not getting up that makes us failures. And you get to decide if you get up or you don't get up. We're going to take setbacks. We're going to take some defeats from time to time in our lives. But when that happens, what that actually does, what that actually should do, is make your vision clear. Make your mission clear. Anyone who's successful has failed much more than you know.
Woo! Good morning, dreamers. Rise and shine. Another blessed and grateful day. Happy Taco Tuesday. Kicking off the day, feeling vibrating high. Got the morning rituals knocked out. We've got our reading in, our journaling, a little bit of yoga. It's good to see you, fam. Cedric, Talina, Shane in the building. Hope you guys had a great start to the AM. And today we've got a phenomenal topic as always. Today we're going to be getting into something as Bob Proctor likes to talk about, getting into the unknown, right? There's a couple that really get into it. Bob Proctor, Joe Dispenza, right? Because if we're sitting in the known, right? The known is our typical habitual routines that we're used to having. And normally it's a very comfortable place. And we all know to go ahead and stretch. It's going to take getting a bit uncomfortable to go and allow us to really grow. So that's what today is really going to be getting into. Johnny, lovely. It's good to see you, fam. So let's go ahead and get IG locked and loaded. Let me see some gratitude down below. What's everybody grateful for? What is your word for the week? If you have one, drop it down below. I would love to see it. And here we go. IG. Let's get started. Living in the unknown. Here we go. Love it, love it. Good morning, fam. IG, it's a pleasure as always. A lot to be grateful for. I know I've had a lot of questions about what is going on with crypto. How can we go ahead and take advantage? Well, this is part of living in the unknown, what we're going to be diving into today. So grateful for God, thankful for each and every single one of you, the Dream Team, thankful to be alive, thankful to be able to move these things, take action, connect with the Creator, build from yesterday. Gratitude is the word for the week. I love it. We're able to go ahead and consume some healthy food, some healthy liquid, go ahead and get the body neutralized so we can go ahead and perform at an optimum level. Jawan, it's good to see you, brother. Love it, love it. We got a packed out week. A great call last night, Monday Momentum. Tuesday is going to be our Tuesday product night. So there's going to be a great call to leverage to get anybody locked in for those that want to go ahead and learn some new skills. So let's get into it. Getting into the unknown. And I love the topic that Neto just broke down for this morning. It brought back a lot of flashbacks, just thinking about the past couple of years, ways that we've been able to change, ways that we've been able to go ahead and create. Because if you look at some of the top 1%ers right now, during this next season, they're looking to go ahead and separate. And if you're looking to go ahead and do the same, separating from the masses, separating from 95%, let me see some fives down below. Because that's the goal of this summer. That is the goal of this next 90-day stretch, roughly getting into September, to be able to do today what most are not willing to do, to live a life tomorrow like most can't. And this is exactly what it's going to take, really getting locked into some of these skill sets, some of these ideologies and philosophies. So getting into the unknown, think about it. when it comes to any of these skill sets, when it comes to building the body, when it comes to building a connection with our creator, right? All of these things, it requires us going into, if you will, almost the darkness so we can go ahead and shine our light a little bit brighter. Perfect example. I'll give you guys a couple perfect examples, right? Even for myself, at the beginning, I was terrible at public speaking, right? Videos was a struggle for me. It was tough for me to even go ahead and make a story. So I started to notice a couple different things though. The person at the front of the room, most of the time, they're making the most money. The person holding the pen, most of the time, they're making the most impact. So I said, you know what? Unlike in school, I'm used to being the type of person maybe in the back, maybe tucked in. Drop a 2 down below if you guys can relate. But that was me, right? I just kind of wanted to just stick to myself, get my work done, and get out of there. I was very introverted. But when I noticed, I said, you know, I got to get to the front of the room. And I knew that was going to take me getting uncomfortable, me running into the unknown. I wasn't used to speaking on the camera. I wasn't used to putting myself out there like that. I wasn't used to really getting vulnerable. But I started to notice, even as I put out a couple different videos, there might have been 30 negative messages, but the moment that I got one positive one, that changed everything. The weight of 1,000 negative messages was not even close to the power of one positive message. And it started to make me see how many things are we afraid of that in reality, it's not even real. That fear doesn't even exist, right? False evidence appearing real. And that literally started a ripple effect into starting to try new things that I realized we all can really do this. The biggest thing stopping pretty much every single one of us is right here. Is nothing but the mindset, right? The belief system that we have for ourselves. So I say, you know, if I could run at making a video, let me run at a couple different things. Let me see if I can run at the unknown with trading. I was terrified to put real money into a trading account. I don't like losing money, probably like a lot of you, right? But I saw another thing. If we're not willing to lose money, if we're not willing to even risk our money, well, guess what? There's a famous quote that says what? With no risk, no reward. No risk, no reward. So I say, you know what? I can keep playing it safe, keep living in my shell, or I can go out and I can start taking some risks. I can start walking into the unknown, into the uncomfortability zone. But you know what the truth is? My mentor woke me up with this. He said, in fact, what we're living in right now, this right here is uncomfortable, right? Is it not uncomfortable being sick and tired, being anxious, procrastinating, waiting for the perfect moment, living with all of this negative self-chatter every day? That is beyond uncomfortable. And I went through every single one of these. And this is what really kickstarted the change. They say when the pain of change outweighs the pain of staying the same, then we'll actually change. And I know you guys might know this story. You might not know it, but this is a story that's always stuck with me, right? The little kid that's going through the park and he sees the old man with the dog and he goes to pet the dog and the dog doesn't move. And the kid asked the old man, he said, how come your dog doesn't move? I'm trying to pet him. He said, well, that's because he's sitting on a nail. The kid says, well, how come he doesn't move? The old man says, because the nail doesn't bother him enough. And this is what I realized. This is how so many of us are living our life. We're sitting on a nail. Maybe our finances is uncomfortable. Maybe our relationship with our creator is uncomfortable. Maybe the reflection when we look in the mirror at our physical appearance might be uncomfortable. All of these things I started to see. I would rather make a change than sit in this what if state. What if things never work out? What if things just continually pouring down on me? And that's when everything began to change in my life. I said, you know what? I can take advantage of my body. I can go ahead and change my finances. I can build my connection with my creator. I can go out and I can change my finances. And I literally started doing every single one of those. I wasn't big at reading. In fact, in college, whenever we had to read, I would figure out a way to go ahead and get out of it. I didn't care to read history. I didn't care to look up all these big old textbooks. There was never anything that really ignited my fire. Once again, learning, right? Being open-minded. I saw that books, these things, they have a lot of the answers that we're looking for. Any emotion, any action, any result that a lot of us are going to experience has already been written down inside of a book. So I say, you know what? It's time to change. I need to start reading more. If the average CEO, if Mark Zuckerberg reads over 4 books a month and the average American reads less than 2 books a year, maybe I need to change my routine. Maybe I need to pick up another book or two, start listening to some audios, start practicing my speech, start learning how to invest my money and just at least dabble my feet in there. All of these things I was not good at. I had no idea what I was doing. Every single one of those was unknown. But here's what I can tell you. It's like driving. It's like, imagine driving on a mountain, right? How many of you guys have ever driven on a mountain in the fog? Driving on a mountain can be scary alone, right? If you guys have ever been on a mountain, you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes it's very narrow in certain places, right? Going around the corners, it gets pretty scary. And there's not always even fences. It's crazy. I don't know why they do that. Some areas, there's not even a fence going around the side, right? Cali, right? There's definitely some spots out there. So this is what happens. Imagine driving in a treacherous mountain. It's foggy. We can barely see ahead of us, but there's a car. There's a car in front of us, and it has, the red brake lights, right? We can see it on both sides. Sometimes going into the unknown, that's all we need to see. All we need to be able to see is just 2 feet in front of us, just the next step. If we can see the next step, we can get to the next mile. And this is how growth works. Going into the unknown, we don't have to see step 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's called knowing the how. Bob Proctor, Jim Rohn, they all talk about it. We don't need to know the how. When the why is big enough, the how becomes irrelevant. Think about it. Alex Morton pretty much dropped out of one of the biggest party schools in the U.S., Arizona State University. A year later, he became a millionaire at 21 years old. Now, is it safe to say that he had that ability inside of him all along? He just had to get locked in with that frequency. The ability was already there. The potential was already there. It just took being able to go ahead and get aligned with that frequency. So for every one of us in this summer of separation, this is what it's going to take. Being able to go ahead and get aligned with that frequency, right? What are the habits that we're doing right now that's maybe hindering our growth? What can we start? What can we stop? What can we do more? And what can we do less? 4 key questions when it comes to really going and getting clarity moving into the summer. For myself, some things that I need to really start and get locked in on is putting myself out there. Content, being loud, being bold. Because I know during this season, there's many that are afraid. They're living in fear. They're looking for a light. So I know there's never been a better time to go ahead and be that source. And each and every one of us, we have that opportunity right here, right now. It's a growth season. So for you, in this next season of separation, for the next 90-ish days, what are the areas that you really want to lock in and focus on? And just like Neno touched on today, for everybody, some of them might be different. Some of you, you really want to hone in on your body. You're ready to go ahead and drop 20, 30 pounds by the summer. For me, I want to do the opposite, right? I wish I had your problems. I want to gain 20 pounds by the summer. Maybe some of you, it's finances, really mastering some of these skills, e-commerce, trading. Maybe some of you is building your connection with your creator. Whatever it may be, success is different to everybody, but I can tell you this. Clarity, taking time to really sit down, write it out. I've already written mine out. I've already written out the summer. Look, let me show you. The summer of separation. Okay, you guys can see it. I've got it right here. The summer of separation. It's written down. It's clear. I know what I want. I know where we're going, and I know what it is that needs to be done. Being loud, being a product of the product, giving value, building the connection with our creator, taking care of our body, taking care of our temple, all of these things is going to allow us to really thrive coming into the summer. Almost 1 year in June on my fitness plan. I love to see it. Those of you on your day 30 challenge, you're doing amazing. So I just wanted to go ahead and highlight a couple of things to allow us to really sit and identify what's the goals for the summer, what's the vision, because yes, it's important to have end of the year goals, but also I believe it's super important to really get clear on what's happening during this season. Deadlines is, for me, when it comes to goals and deadlines, I'm not really worried if you hit the goal by the deadline. But I do know that deadline creates pressure. That pressure creates diamonds. That pressure condenses and compresses time frames. The work that we would do in 6 months, we can literally knock that out in the next 90 days. And I want to tell you, I'm running with each and every single one of you. I'm making changes as well, right? I'm making shifts, making adjustments. I know I've not been leaving everything on the field. So just like Jim Rohn says, we all can do more. Therefore, we can go out and become more. And it's a beautiful thing. Growth is exciting. This is one of the best parts about life. Just like these trees, the moment they stop growing, they're dying. Well, us as humans, we continuously have the ability to keep sharpening our sword. That's why we have the community, the access, the go lives, the chats, the mentorship. And I know we're just getting started. So fam, that is my time. I hope you all have an amazing rest of the day. Remember, anything you need, we're here for you tonight. We've got our Tuesday night product called Get Ready. A lot of value is going to be coming in for the evening. And let's go out and let's make these dreams a reality. I love you, fam. Remember, we can be, do, and have anything we can hold in our mind. We can hold it right here in our hand. It's game time. Let's get to work.